all, and welcome to this month's edition of the Monthly Dose. My name is Corey Ritchie, and on the show today, the threat of monkeypox looms, heat waves across the United States cause dehydration and heat stroke, prepping your child for taking care of their health in college, and tips for Summer Safety Month. With over 6,000 cases around the globe, the spread of monkeypox is peaking all over the world. The World Health Organization has just declared a global emergency, which hasn't been done since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Most cases have been identified in men who have sex with men and is ravaging the LGBTQ community. There are vaccines available, but currently there is low inventory. For example, New York City has hit almost 900 cases and has already run out of their 1,000 vaccines. Symptoms of monkeypox include fever, headache, lack of energy, and muscle aches. Monkeypox are most known for the sores that are much like pus-filled blisters or pimples. While the risk of contracting the disease is low, it is possible with close human-to-human contact. Survival is likely, around 99% of patients recover, but it can become more fatal in children. In the U.S., there are currently about 3,000 cases. As major heat waves hit around the United States this past week, the importance of summer safety is as great as ever. Summer presents many health and safety hazards. The extreme heat is the first of many. Keeping cool and hydrated is key for preventing exhaustion and heat stroke. Staying inside in cooler temperatures is the most obvious thing to do, but the great outdoors can't always be avoided. If you're stuck outside for whatever reason, make sure that you're drinking enough water and staying covered by wearing airy, long-sleeve clothing and hats. Sun care is probably the most talked about aspect of summer safety. The UV rays from the sun are the number one cause of skin cancer, nonetheless painful sunburn. In the summertime, the UV rates are at its highest, especially between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Avoid being outside during these times and make sure you lather on the sunscreen if you can't avoid it. While the higher SPF, the better, no sunscreen protects you entirely. The best way to protect yourself is to seek shade and to stay covered up. If you do find some kind of unusual bump or discoloration on the skin that was not there before, ask your doctor if you should get it checked by a dermatologist. Early detection is key in recovery when it comes to skin cancer. Even people of color are able to get skin cancer, even if it is less likely. People of color are more likely to die from skin cancer, even though they are less likely to get it, partially from racial disparities in healthcare as well as late detection. Self-detection is key, so regardless of your race, doing a self-exam every once in a while could save you. As we discuss racial disparities in healthcare, we are quickly joined by Jong Lee, author and nurse, and our own Tanzan Al-Zafar to discuss further racism in healthcare.
Jong Lee, a distinguished author, brings us the story of a nurse named Ginger Kim, who experiences bigotry, racism, and discrimination in her workplace due to her South Korean background. Jong proves in her book, Fighting to Breathe, the systematic racism that exists within healthcare industry. Thank you for joining us today, Jong.
No problem.
First of all, I would like to acknowledge the importance of this topic during this sensitive time, where due to social media, cell phone cameras, we are witnessing more racism being captured. And thank you for using your platform as an author to bring more awareness to this topic.
Yeah, I think it's very important. And it took me a long time to talk about this because obviously a lot of different reasons. When COVID hit, it really encouraged me to just go with your guts and talk about it. Mm-hmm. And I believe a lot of people need to stand up and talk about it. I know there are a lot of demonstrations and some particular people, only specific type of people speaks up. But if we need to make changes, the change has to come from all different directions and all different level. So it's very, I believe personally, it's important to talk about that same issue, racism, from all different levels. I think it's not surprising. I think it's because they have underlying health conditions and dense living conditions and employment in the service industry as an essential worker, or limited access to the healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
And only the COVID, after the hit by the COVID, it kind of highlighted the issue. As I mentioned earlier, the change has to come from all different levels. And I believe a lot of people will agree. You can't change things overnight. It'll come slowly and gradually. But if we don't try it, nothing's gonna happen. Everybody has to take everybody has to pitch in. And also it has to, not just individual level, but I believe it has to come from federal level, local level, and group level. It has to come from all different direction. People has to put effort to it. And change doesn't always mean easy or pleasant, but it's not always bad, you know? It could be very, very positive thing.
Mm-hmm.
As we're all human beings. After I immigrated to this country, I felt it. But at the beginning, I think a lot of people will agree. You know, when you're new to this country, you want to be good, you know, and you want to work hard, and you do your very best. And sometimes it's because you want to be good citizen, you know, part of this you know, amazing country. Also, you want to prove yourself. Okay, if I do better, maybe they'll treat me equal. You know what I mean? But that wasn't the case. And with my career, it was getting way too much. And I think all those stress and all those unfairness and discrimination pushed me really to have a courage to write about it and talk about it. I know that a lot of people, a lot of nurses in color will agree with me, with my book, what's happening in the book, but I think they're afraid to talk about it. Oh, because, you know, sometimes it could be a cultural thing. Because a lot of, for example, since I'm Asian, I'll talk about Asian culture. We were taught to be not speak up, not voice, don't raise your voice, just keep your head down, don't talk about it. And you need to be humble. That's really, really outdated. We need to wake up. It's important for you to keep your own culture within yourself, but it is very important for you to understand your surroundings, because you're not living in your home country. You're living in this westernized country. You need to open mind to it. You need to able to learn about this culture and understand where you are and who you work with and where you know what type of difficulty that you're facing. You need to speak up. You need to talk about it, and I think it's very important having your voice, because having your own voice is not always negative. It's not always against your culture. You need to talk about it. It's sometimes when you don't talk about it, there's no way other people will understand what you're thinking, right?
As August approaches, it is about time to move all of those college kids into their new homes. This is a new, big life change that involves new responsibilities, including taking care of one's own health care. Teaching your child how to care for themselves is key, especially if they already have some kind of health issues. One of the best things you can do is to book an appointment with their pediatrician or primary care before they leave for college. Their doctor will take them through a crash course in how to prepare themselves for school and how to advocate for their own health. Before they leave, teach them about their health insurance, what it covers and what it does not. This way, they can be prepared for any copay or prescription costs that might come their way. When moving in, make sure that you both visit the university's Health Services Center to explore what services they provide and how to book appointments. Setting up your student for success is key in this new world that they are living in. Help pack them a small emergency kit with all of the essentials: ibuprofen, a thermometer, masks, hand sanitizer, among others. Stay healthy during this time is important in this transition. That's all for our show today. I'm Corey Ritchie, and this has been The Monthly Dose. Cheers.